Yeah, good morning all. We are back with our classes. I hope you had a good holiday and really enjoyed your vacation. So now back to our classes. We were discussing paper 2019. So back to the questions of paper 2019. Lot of schools have their half-yearly exams. Some of them have finished, some are still having. So that was the time when we didn't have any tests and other things. From now, this week onwards, or probably from next week, we will again start with our classes and we will again start sending you question papers which you have to do. Before the test of every chapter, all the previous year's question papers will be sent to you so that you can see, and then we can have a question paper pattern based on those questions. Okay, so now I don't know your question number. Please tell me the question. 60. So it's a question based on electricity. 16th is a question based on electricity where they say three resistors of resistances R1, R2 and R3 are connected first in series, second in parallel, in series and in parallel. Write equivalent resistance resistances of the combination in each case. It is not telling you to derive. I missed out that. Write expressions. I missed out the term. Write expressions for equivalent resistances of the combination in each case. So what are they telling you? That there are three resistors connected in series, mainly as R1, R2 and R3. First in series, then in parallel. So what we will do whenever resistances are connected in series and parallel, we will draw its diagram and then write its final expression. Derivation they are just asking what? Write expression, final formula. So first now, if three resistances are connected in series, they are R1, R2, R3 connected in series across a cell or a battery using the plug key. Correct? So what is our equivalent resistance here? Let us write R1, R2, R3. Put an arrow saying that current flows from positive terminal to negative terminal. Right. When resistances are connected in series, the resultant resistance is given as R1 plus R2 plus R3. Correct? This is the first part of the question. So when resistances are connected in series, the diagram is like this. You have to write a positive and a negative terminal, a plug key, and the expression is what? Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. I am rubbing it. The next part, when they are connected in parallel, so we will write on the top. When they are connected in parallel, what we do here is we take 2 points. Again, they are connected into parallel using a plug key. Bring it up to this point and then you can write like this: R1, R2 and R3. Positive terminal to negative. What is our expression? 1 by RB is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 is the expression when the resistances are connected in to write, Raghav pause maಡು. Now the second question or second part of the same question is a problem. Please write two identical resistors of 12 ohm each are connected to a battery of 3 volts. Calculate the ratio of power consumed by the resulting combination with minimum resistance and maximum resistance. Fine. So this is our question. Two identical resistors of 12 ohms each are connected to a battery of 3 volts. So when they are connected in series for maximum resistance, the resistance has to be connected in series. So Rs is equal to 12 plus 12, which is equal to what ohms? 24 ohms. Correct? For minimum resistance, 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by 12 plus 1 by 12, which is 2 by 12. So Rp is equal to what? 12 by 2, which is equal to how much ohms? 6 ohms. Correct? So for maximum resistance, you should connect it in series. For minimum resistance, you should connect it in parallel. So you should write series, maximum resistance, parallel, minimum resistance. Now they want what? Calculation of power. How do we calculate power? Formula? P equals IR. Who taught you? P is equal to VI1 formula. Okay? But we don't have any R. So what we will use? P is equal to I square R. Correct? No? P equals I square R. Do I have any I? No. So what do? I can find out I can find out I using the formula what? V is equal to IR. V no 3 volts. I no. R no. I 24 ohms. So 3 by 24 is I. One way of doing it. Okay. Or what I will do? I will use the formula P is equal to V square by R. What formula I can use? P is equal to V square by R. Do you remember from where we got all this? We substituted this as we started from H is equal to I square RT. Gauss law of heating by T madu. So again H is equal to I square R. Then V is equal to IR. So I is equal to V by R. Substituted V square by R square into R into T. So this R and this R gets cancelled. So we get what? V square by R. So I will use that formula. So P is equal to V square 3 into 3 by 24, and basically P is equal to 3 into 3 by 6. ಎಷ್ಟು 8 3s ಅಲ್ಲ 24 3 8s are 24 ಅಲ್ಲ. So first power will be 3 by 8 watt. Second power will be what? 3 2s are 3 by 2 watts. Ratio ಏನು? To maximum minimum resistance to maximum resistance 3 by 8 is to 3 by 2 divide ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay, 3 by 8 watt is to 3 by 2 watts divide ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ or ಹಂಗೆ ಬರೀರಿ. Fine, understood this? Okay. 3 by 8 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು? Division ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0.3 something. Okay, 3 by 2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 0.6. 3 by 2 is 1.5. Chal. Now, hinge bidi. Ishtrallu okay. What is the ratio to minimum resistance to maximum resistance? Minimum resistance is 3 by 2 watts and maximum resistance is 3 by 8 watts. Okay. Now the next internal choice questions in the same. So you write it as the next question. They have asked from here about resistivity. So the next question is derivation. They have asked about resistivity. Write the relation. This is the 17th question in write the relation between resistance and electrical resistivity of the material of a conductor in the shape of a cylinder of length L and area of cross section A. Hence derive the SI unit of electrical resistivity. Derive the SI unit of electrical resistivity. If you look at the questions, these questions are all there in our notes. If you follow and read correctly, this is nothing but the question which is given on derivation of resistivity. So we will start from where we know that resistance is directly proportional to length of the conductor. Correct? Resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. This is 1. This is 2. Then you write what? Compiling 1 and 2. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. Compiling 1 and 2. We get what? R is proportional to L by A. So R is equal to what? Rho L by A, where rho is called as specific resistance or resistivity. rho. What is the SI unit? R is equal to rho L by A. So rho is equal to RA by L. R is measured in ohms. Area is measured in meters square. Length is measured in meter. So the SI unit of rho is ohm meter. This is how much you have to write. Okay? Clear? Exactly these steps are very well. Fine? R is proportional to L. R is inversely proportional to 1 by A. Combining 1 and 2, I get R is proportional to L by A. L 1 line barbeku. Removing the proportionality sign, we use a constant rho. So R is equal to rho L by A, where rho is called as the resistivity or the specific resistance of a conductor. SI unit of rho is R is equal to rho L by A. Rho is equal to RA by L. Multiplying, putting their units, you get rho is equal to ohm meter. Done? Shall we go to the next one? Now, the second part of the same question. These are all 5 markers. So, the second part of the same question is a problem. The second part of the same question is a problem based on resistivity. So, if you know the problem formula, you can directly apply. So, it says resistance of a metal wire of length 5 meter is 100 ohm. If the area of cross section of the wire is 3 into 10 to the power minus 7 meters square, calculate the resistivity of the metal. Calculate the resistivity of the metal. Okay, so this is our question. Everything is given. Resistance of a metal wire of length 5 meter. So L is 5 meter. R is 100 ohms. A is how much? 3 into 10 to the power minus 7 meters square. What I have to find out? Rho. Correct? Very simple. I can substitute. Rho is equal to RA by L. So 100 into 3 into 10 to the power minus 7 by 5. Correct? So I can write 300 by 5 into 10 to the power minus 7. 5, 6 are 30. So my answer is what? 60 into 10 to the power minus 7 ohm meter. Correct or not? 5, 6 are 30 only, no? I have forgotten multiplication in 1 week, I think. 60 into even 9th class, maja irutte. Nange baralla andre avanga inna baralla. 60 into 10 to the power minus 7 ohm meter. Ohm meter. Okay. So this is how problems very simple, cutting, cancelling, ज़्यादा time नहीं लगेगा, ऐसा ही रहेगा. What there may be a change, they may change sometime these units, millimeter, centimeter मान पड़ता रहे. So calculate the ohm in the same unit and in the last change. Don't change it in the beginning and spoil. Okay? So this is how we are supposed to solve it. Now for the next question. 18th question now. So for the next question is from magnetic effect of electric current. A 5-mark question. Name and state. 18th question, first part. Name and state the rule to determine the direction of force experienced by a current carrying straight conductor placed in a uniform magnetic field which is perpendicular to it. So, hinkotre ನೀವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು which rule are they talking. Name and state the rule to determine the direction of force experienced. Fleming's left hand rule. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತು? Direction of force and tachna, you should know what is the basic principle of an electric motor. When a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force, the direction of which is given by Fleming's left hand rule. So the same question they have asked, but to confuse you, they have given what? Straight conductor. Straight conductor ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಏನು ಬರೀತಾರೆ? Right hand thumb rule. Right hand thumb rule illa idu, because right hand thumb rule is only used to find out the direction of magnetic field in a straight conductor carrying current. ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? Direction of force. Okay. So which rule are we talking about? Fleming's left hand rule. They have told name and state. So first thing you say, the rule governing is what? Fleming's left hand rule. And how do you state it? I am not writing it, but I am explaining it. Stretch the thumb, the forefinger and the middle finger of your left hand in such a way that they are. Then the center finger shows the direction of current, the forefinger shows the direction of magnetic field, and thumb shows the direction of magnetic force or the movement of the conductor. Okay? Once again, stretch the thumb, the forefinger and the center finger of your left hand in such a way that they are mutually perpendicular. Then the thumb shows the direction of current, the forefinger shows the direction of magnetic field. Sorry, I said thumb no somewhere. The center finger shows the direction of current, the forefinger shows the direction of magnetic field, and thumb shows the direction of magnetic force. Okay, the second part of the question, I'll give you time to write. The B part of the question is, draw a labeled diagram of electric motor. Draw a labeled diagram of electric motor. Raga bekidre pause ಮಾಡಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು. Okay, now the next question, the next 5 marker, it is from chemistry. This is a part of section E. So I think from here the lab part starts. So what is observed after adding 1 hour, what is observed after about 1 hour of adding the strips of copper and aluminium separately to ferrous sulfate solution filled in 2 beakers. So what are we doing? We are taking, now because all big questions are there, if you want I'll send you a photo of it, but I am solving the answers. You can leave the question space. So it says what is observed after about 1 hour of adding the strips of copper and aluminium separately to ferrous sulfate solution. So you have Al plus FeSO4 and next you have what? Cu plus FeSO4. Correct? It also says name the reaction if any change in color is noticed. Also write chemical equations for the following. Any reaction takes place here? Does any reaction take place here? It is ulta. If it is Fe plus CuSO4, you will get FeSO4 plus Cu. Here there will be no reaction because copper is less reactive than iron. So it cannot displace iron from its salt solution. But here the reaction will take place. So what will be the reaction? See, Al has got valency plus 3. SO4 has got valency minus 3. Cross multiply, you should get what? Al2 SO4 thrice. So I will balance here as 2Al plus 3 FeSO4 gives what? Al2 SO4 thrice plus how many Fe? 3 Fe. Correct? So how will you write the question? Adding the strips of copper and aluminium separately to ferrous sulfate solution. Name the reaction if any change in color is noticed. The reaction is called as what? Displacement reaction. What is the change in color? Here the green color iron sulfate will become white. Okay, and a brown color iron will be deposited. Clear? Then after that also write chemical equations. We have already written. Next it states about a students want to study a decomposition reaction by taking ferrous sulfate crystals. So what is that reaction? 2FeSO4 gives Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. Write 2 precautions he must observe while performing the experiment. He should always take ferrous sulfate in what tube? Boiling tube, not in a test tube. And as there is a smell of burning sulfur, he should keep it away from him and you should not directly inhale the fumes of sulfur dioxide. Take the crystals in boiling tube and heat it. And second precaution you can say, don't hold the test boiling tube by hand. Put it in a holder and heat it over a flame. Keep it away from the body. Do not smell the gas. Anything, any of the precautions. The next one, idilla, ethanoic acid in syllabus allela. So it's okay. A student has set up an apparatus to show that carbon dioxide is released during respiration. You remember that activity? You blow in your nose or you blow through a syringe. Do you remember that starting part of respiration? After about 1 hour, he observes no change in the water level in the delivery tube. Write 2 possible reasons for the failure of the experiment. A student has set up an apparatus to show that carbon dioxide is released during respiration. Okay, after about 1 hour, he observes no change in the water level. Water level should go up and down because oxygen will go up and down during, carbon dioxide will be released. What 2 possible reasons for the failure of the experiment? Experiment bode illa
calcium oxide.
Carbon dioxide is released during respiration. ಯಾವ experiment? How do you measure in lab? Lab manual ಓದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾಳೆ lab manual ತಗೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರ ಹತ್ರ lab manual ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ? You have a lab manual, no? So you get that lab manual. Okay, then you will understand the experiment because without it we cannot teach. Everything is lab based. So we will have to get the lab manual tomorrow and we will do it. Okay. So thank you. Tomorrow we will start with 2020 paper. Fine. So get your lab manuals for the next part. Tomorrow we will finish in the lab manual. Thank you.